now here's the smartwatch, and now let me show you how it works, first of all without the smartphone. So yeah, we have here a launcher just like on every Android phone, for instance, so you can swipe here between several pages where you can find different things. So this is basically the main display, so here you can see the clock face. Here you will see a little circle, in there you will find a number, so this is basically the RAM usage. And it has that cleaner application installed, so you can see here that Space Rocket, if you drag and drop it into the middle, it vibrates, and then it just frees up some memory. So as you can see, 25 megabytes of RAM freed up. Even though you can set it to your language, you will still see some Chinese signs from time to time. Okay, so now let me show you the clock faces. So there are different clock faces. To change it, all you have to do is just tap and hold, and then we'll go out here a little bit, and then you can switch here between several clock faces. So there are really many. On some other MTK smartwatches I have, you just have like 4 or 5 different clock faces. But just check this out, guys. Here we have really a lot. And some of them, they look pretty cool, and they have even additional features. And another cool thing is that you're also able to download other clock faces. So here on the right side, there's a plus button. And then we'll just connect to the server if you connect it to the internet. And we'll show you just some updated clock faces. I'm not really sure where it downloads them or how you get them and how often there are updates, but I could even find here some clock faces online, which is a pretty cool thing. So here you can see some updated ones. Okay, that's it. I'll now just quickly go back here to the screen, so we'll just keep that clock face for now. Now, here we have several pages on the home screen. So sorry, that was the rocket again. So let me quickly switch here between the pages. Now here we have a music player, so here you can play music from your smartphone, and yeah, it's just like a remote control. Then at the top also there's an Android status bar, but I'm not really sure how to get to it actually, because you can't swipe down. Maybe I will find it out a bit later. I'm now using the watch for 1 week, but I couldn't really find out how to get to the status bar. So if anybody knows, please tell me it. Okay, we have here on the next page a heart rate monitor and pedometer. I will show you those fitness things just a little bit later, and here we have weather, date and time and all that. Okay, you can also switch it to the left side to get your notifications. So you have here 5 of them, and you see if you tap at them you can actually just check out your notifications. After you've tapped at them they will disappear, so you did already read them, and there are still some Chinese signs left. So even though you set the language to your preferred display language, you will still see some Chinese signs from time to time. Now to enter the menu, you have to double tap. So guys, before we have a closer look at the menu, I want to show you how to operate the smartwatch. For instance, if you want that the screen goes on, you just have to use the gestures, like you have to raise your arm like this, and the screen should come on automatically. So let's try it again. And there we go, as you can see. So this is not accurate, sometimes it also takes some time. It's not too responsive, but usually it's working good if you have it on your wrist. Another thing is you can press the power button here once to turn on the display, and if you keep holding it, you will get your sub-menu. So here you have that gestures, for instance. Then here you have brightness, so from level 1 to level 3. 1 is actually quite low brightness, 2 is sufficient to read it outside, and 3 is really bright. So I would actually go with 2 because this saves a little bit of battery, but is still bright enough to read it outside. You can mute the smartwatch here at the top. You can shut it down, and here you have power saving mode, but this will lose the connection. So when I activate power saving, it will probably deactivate Bluetooth. Alright, so this is how to operate the smartwatch. So far as you can see, there is no double tap to wake up, but maybe we can find it in the settings. So didn't dig too deep in the settings, but we can do it now together. So if we double tap here, we'll come to the menu. And in there we have several applications, so that's a normal menu here, and here you can already see a lot of applications. So this is really fully loaded Android. Now at the top here there's some kind of background wallpaper. Not really sure how to change it, but maybe we're going to find it out. Here we have the phone application, so if you want to do a call, you can do a remote call or you can do an internal call. As I've told you, it's a standalone smartwatch. That means you have a SIM card inside, and you can call here from the integrated SIM card. Unfortunately, I got mobile network not available, so somehow this doesn't want to work with my SIM card. I'm not really sure why, but when I find it out, I will leave you my ideas about that down below in the description. Here we have messages. The cool thing is you can compose messages directly from the smartwatch, so this should work. A lot of people said it works in their country, so for me, as I've told you, mobile network has issues, but we can type here text. Now text input with the keyboard is almost impossible for me. Just check out my finger. It's like half of the screen, that means more than half of the keyboard, and if you want to type, this is absolutely hard to do. Here in front of the camera it's even harder, so actually I practiced it a little bit and I'm not so bad at typing. If you want to just tap at a letter here, you have to tap a little bit over the letter, then it actually detects it properly. So if you want to type a U U letter, then you have to tap a little bit over U. Same goes here for T, F, let's take B, no that was N, B, A, F, R, so that's T. So sometimes you see typing is a little bit hard and you really have to practice that. Also you can see some of the buttons are really hard to hit actually, because they're here on the outer border of the circular display. That means they're a little bit cut it off, and this is really hard. For instance, if you want to switch the keyboard, okay, that worked. But yeah, if you want to type fast, not really good. But the cool thing is that you can really type messages directly from your smartwatch, and this is something which I think is really cool. Okay, so let's discard the message and let's go back. So going back works like this. You just slide down from the top and you come back here to the main menu. So it's very easy. Now here we have contacts. So this basically loads up the contacts from your phone book from your smartphone. And as you can see, there are several numbers. So this is basically on my smartphone. Okay, then let's go back here. For sure, you can also directly call the numbers here from your smartwatch. The next thing we have here are settings. So let's check them out. And there we go. First of all, here at the top, we have clock settings. And in the clock settings, you can change the default clock, the wallpaper, and date and time. So all the adjustments. We have different ringtones for sure. So here we have sounds, and there are not so many ringtones. So we just have here a couple of ones. And I'm not really sure if it's possible to use MP3s as ringtones. But so far you have some pre-configured ringtones here in the sound settings. Here we have display settings. So the maximum sleep time is 30 minutes, just like on an Android phone. And you've seen the brightness. We have 3 levels, but there's also a brightness slider here inside. Alright, so let's go back. And the next thing here is connect. Now you can connect over Bluetooth to your mobile device. You can use mobile network from your integrated, I'll probably have to switch on data roaming. Actually, I've seen it here for the first time. Here you can switch between different network modes. So it's the MTK6572, if I'm correct right now, and it's a 3G chipset, so the maximum speed you will get is 3G. Okay, we have Wi-Fi, and I have to say Wi-Fi is not too bad, so we can quickly switch it on, and there we go. So it's now turning Wi-Fi on. And yeah, here you can see my office network, so I already connected it to download all the applications. Now sorry for the notification. Now the Wi-Fi signal is not so good, so it's actually weaker than on the most smartphones I have here. Also, like the lowest Wi-Fi signal on the crappiest smartphone I have here is still a little bit better than here on the smartwatch. You see, it also takes a long time to connect here, for instance, to the router, and the link speed is 54 Mbits, so that's maximum here, and the signal strength is fair. For instance, on my smartphone I get good signal strength, and oh sorry, we lost the link. So if you switch on Wi-Fi, you will also lose the connection to your smartwatch for some reason. And there we go. And yeah, that's Wi-Fi. So I use the Wi-Fi actually just when I use the smartwatch without a smartphone, or when I wanted to download all the applications. For sure it comes with airplane mode. We have here Wi-Fi hotspot, so you could even use it as some kind of Wi-Fi router, so as a hotspot. We have here GPS. We'll later do a quick GPS test with GPS test application, and we also have here VPN settings. So it has a lot of connectivity things because it's fully loaded Android with an MTK6572. Now let's check out power saving. So you can switch power saving here to on, and open flip will brighten the screen. So this is, for instance, the gesture thing which you have seen before. We have here language and input, so let's check this out. Now the smartwatch is multi-language. That means it has a lot of different languages inside. But as you've seen before, some of the languages will still, so some of the messages you get will still remain in Chinese or some kind of Chinese language. Okay, it has different keyboards. It also supports Google Voice input, which I would really prefer instead of typing, because you have seen the mess with the keyboard. The keyboard is very small, and for sure you can also install different keyboards from the Play Store, so it's really customizable. We have here backup and reset, so nothing special. and we have your device management. So here we have SIM management, and yeah, there seems to be something wrong with my provider. So the smartwatch supports several frequencies. You will find them down below in the description, and just double check before you buy the smartwatch if all the frequencies which your provider is using also supported by the watch. Otherwise, this is a mess. So there are several settings for all that. I think it's not really worth to go through all that. You can uninstall applications here, and I have to say memory is very limited, so I'm already full and I didn't even install a game. And here under about the device you can see there's wireless update. So it supports over-the-air updates, but I'm pretty sure you won't see updates so often. So your system is currently up to date. I mean, the watch is kind of new, but don't think that you will get here an Android update to Lollipop or whatever. So you will stick here with Android KitKat and probably also don't see many hotfixes. Okay, that's everything we can find in the settings. And now let's have a look here at the health applications. So first of all, it comes with a pedometer. This one here is quite accurate, so I took it for a little ride, let's say it like this, and it counted 1000 steps, so 0.7 kilometers, and you can also, for instance, have an interval pedometer if you want to use that, so just to count the steps right now, so for instance for 10 minutes. Now, nothing special, but I have to say I think it's a little bit more accurate than the Xiaomi Mi Band, because the Mi Band sometimes overestimates the activity, and here it seems to be quite okay. Okay, that's regarding the pedometer. Here we have a heart rate scanner. I will now just put my finger on there and let's just see what it measures, or if it measures anything. Now honestly I have to say I'm not using those heart rate things in most of the smart devices. I think it's kind of useless, but 54 beats per minute, 67 beats per minute, so it can also continuously measure the heart rate. So this seems a bit low because I'm now talking, but you know, it's also not really accurate because I'm just measuring here my finger. Okay, so it goes up because I continue talking, could be real. On the back side, you will see that the LED is now on and lights up in green here. So yeah, the heart rate scanner seems to work. I can't really tell you how reliable it is, so I haven't actually compared it with some expensive heart rate monitor, but I think it does the job and it's pretty okay for most people. Here we have a music player. So you can scan and this will basically import the music from your smartphone. Unfortunately, I don't have any music now on my Sony, so it will say no music. But we'll do a speaker test anyway here on YouTube. It supports alarms, also has vibration mode, so this is pretty good to wake up. Usually I don't hear any alarms, but if anything vibrates on my arm, I definitely will wake up. Here we have some kind of Chinese app store, so the Baidu store, I guess. Now, actually, I haven't used it. I have used the Google Play Store, which came pre-installed. Okay, let's go back here. So, as you can see, a lot of Chinese signs. So, I'm not using that because I can't read it anyway. Okay, hopefully I can get back here. Alright, so we did it, guys. That was that Baidu store. We have here a weather widget, weather application. You did also see the widget. Oh, sorry, guys. Really hard here with one hand. Weather application, we have a sound recorder which uses the integrated microphone, which is by the way really okay. I did a test call, other people said I sound a little bit far away, but for sure I wasn't directly talking like Knight Rider into the smartwatch. We have the watch helper, so that's basically the application. Now the smartwatch is compatible with iOS and Android, but so far I've only downloaded the Android application, but I think you can also scan the QR code to download iOS application. Because there's also a QR code here. No, there's no QR code, but as you can see it says here iOS. So it's definitely compatible with iOS, but I haven't used it because I don't have an iPhone. You see my Sony Xperia Z3 C3 is connected here, so the compact version. Vibrate when you get a message. Notifications can be fully customized. You can get notifications from WhatsApp, you can get notifications from Facebook, whatever you want to. And the application we're going to use, it's the mobile watch helper, and I will quickly show you that now on the smartwatch, on the smartphone. Oh yeah, so I've now connected the smartwatch to the watch helper, so the official application. We're here on the Sony Xperia C3 because on some other devices I had pairing issues. I just didn't want to connect, so that really sucks, and also the application here is not too good. So I'm now connected to the smartwatch. You can see here SMS and dialer, so you can just check here the boxes if you want that it reads incoming SMS, that you have missed call notifications and all that. You can even switch on app notifications. That means you can get notifications for everything which is set up on your smartphone. You can get notifications for Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever you want to. Here we have Find My Target. So if you just tap on there, Probably you can hear it, the smartwatch will vibrate and ring. You can transfer files to the watch. You can also do that if you connect with the USB cable to the computer. You will get USB mode. And yeah, there are update options. But that's basically it. That's the whole application here. So it's really, really not special. And mostly you have to do everything for yourself on the smartwatch. So it's actually a standalone device more than a device which you should connect in addition to your smartphone. And that's cool in some ways, but also not really useful sometimes. Alright, that was the mobile application. Now here we have the App Store on the smartwatch, so it's not like Android Wear where you have to download the applications from your smartphone to the smartwatch. You can directly go to the App Store. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong App Store. So that are actually the watch apps, but there's a real Google Play Store. So you have like 3 stores on the smartwatch: Play Store, the App Store for those smartwatch applications, and you have this Baidu store. As you can see, I've even installed the WhatsApp Messenger, so you could even have WhatsApp on the smartwatch. There's a normal Facebook Messenger, so you can install games, you can install everything. I did even install the Antutu benchmark, so we can also have a look at the performance. And this is really crazy, you can even install games on the smartwatch. Now you see, there is everything cut off a bit because it doesn't scale to the round display. It's still in rectangular display, and something is cut off, so on the outer borders and the edges. Okay, so let's go back here. That was the Google Play Store, so you can really download everything. It didn't even say incompatible device or something like that. It just downloaded everything fine. We have here the web browser, so just like on an Android phone, you can directly check out websites on the smartwatch. But yeah, you see typing on the watch is really a pain in the ass, and also to check out the fonts to read anything here, it's very, very small, but it's pretty cool if you show it to other people. For sure, calendar, downloads and file manager. We have voice search, so Google Voice commands, Google Voice Search is working, and here we have all the applications I've installed. So what I want to do now is, I just want to show you that you can have even Facebook on there. So I'm logged in with my profile, I can quickly show you that. Now here we have the coolest thing ever, and this is Facebook on your smartwatch. So really the full Facebook Android application. You can see here even movie playback works, so there we go, that's also very smooth. You can check out also here other videos, you can check out pictures. You see, it's cut off, that's the only bad thing, because the Facebook application here is not made to be displayed on a round display. You can get here your notifications, you can chat with other people in the Messenger, but just typing and reading the small fonts here is really, really tricky. Alright, you can also have Instagram, so basically you can install every application you want to, but just keep in mind that the space is very limited. So with those applications you can see here, the smartwatch is already full. Alright, so I just want to quickly show you here the Antutu benchmark, and the score is very low. For sure it's a 1 GHz dual core chipset, which is also a bit optimized here for the smartwatch, but we get 10,000 points. We can check it out here in the ranking, and there we go. So here at the bottom you can see that's a very low score, and we can have a look at info. So Alps, that's usually some Chinese OEM manufacturer or something like that. Here you can see it's the D5 watch, it runs Android KitKat 32 bits, MTK6572, Mali 400MP GPU, which is not too bad. 360 x 360 pixels of the display, and that's really, really cool. That's like an Android phone fit into the smartwatch here. Okay, that's the Antutu benchmark. For sure, we also have here CPU-C, so let's check this out, guys, and there we go. So you see, this one here runs at 1.0 GHz, but it's a dual-core chipset, and it clocks from 600 up to 1 GHz. Now, the watch is absolutely smooth, but the battery life is not so smooth, so good, because it's really fully loaded Android with only 450 milliamp hours. The watch itself keeps really cool. There is no heating, you see 25 degrees on the battery. You can check out here the other things. So it's very small, everything pressed into the small smartwatch body, but still it keeps a good temperature, 45 degrees here on the inside. It has only the basic sensors like an accelerometer and not even a light sensor, but you can adjust the brightness on your own. There is no automatic brightness so far as I've seen. Last but not least, let's have a look at the YouTube application. So we'll just play back now a movie, and then you can listen to the sound quality. Let's go here to NCS, so you can listen to some great music. And there we go, guys. So there we go, we're now here in the YouTube application. So this is really the YouTube application you can find on your Android phone. Let's hit the play button. We're here on no copyright sounds, and I have to say, the sound quality is not too bad at all for the small speaker. So actually the speaker inside is not so much smaller than on some smartphones, and let's hit the play button. So for sure it sounds flat and it's not too loud, and already oversteers a bit at maximum volume here, but still, it's a smartwatch, just keep that in mind. And I think for that it's not too bad. Now just listen for yourself. So that's the audio quality of the No.1 D5 smartwatch. Sounds pretty good. Now guys, here's a quick GPS test, and this is actually outstanding. So that chipset had usually very crappy GPS, but here 12 satellites in view, 7 in use. Accuracy 15 feet, 3D fix, and this indoors. You can see here a couple of yellow bars, which means average signal, couple of red bars, which means, yeah, kind of low signal, so those orange bars. No green bars, but keep in mind, we're indoors. And outdoor navigation also works, but I have to say battery dies quickly. So you could use it for one navigation like 1 hour, but the battery is usually then almost dead. Okay guys, that's it. So that's the GPS test here on the smartwatch. Now the watch also comes with an air pressure application, so to measure the air pressure, but I couldn't find a sensor inside, so with sensor box as well as with CPU-C. And also the application just starts up, shows here 300 hectopascal or something like that, but doesn't refresh it actually. So yeah, I think the application is on there. Either the sensor is broken because this is a very early model, or there is no air pressure sensor on the D5. So guys, we're now here at the end of this review. So far I really enjoyed testing here this No.1 D5 smartwatch. Now it's a cool device. It's actually, I would say, a nice gadget with okay build quality, except of the strap, which is not so comfortable. Now regarding the performance, it's very good. Also it has pretty nice specs for an okay price, but it's not something I would use every day because I just don't want to recharge my smartwatch every day. The battery life is barely a day for me, depends what you do with the smartwatch, depends on the brightness, but it's a pretty cool thing that you can do so many things. Now, I had Android where I was using the Sony Smartwatch 3 and it's sometimes a little bit limited, so here you have really the full Android potential, but it's like, as I've told you, a standalone smartwatch and doesn't really help you too much with your smartphone. But I think it's a pretty cool device. You can find it on several shops, so we'll leave you links down below in the description, so if you're interested, feel free to check it out. I still use it because I think it looks great, has a fully circular display, and the specs are not too bad at all. But just recharging it every day is not really the best thing, and I don't like it too much. So actually I like to stay with a Pebble smartwatch, which I don't have to recharge every day and which just displays my notifications. That's all I need. But it's a nice gadget, links down below. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.